As the story unfolds, we are introduced to Cooper, a prominent Hollywood actor, attending a lavish birthday party. During the party, his daughter sees huge blasts in the city. Meanwhile, there's a commotion in the city, and to save people's lives, they are shifted to underground vaults. Looking at the vaults, it was clear that people already knew about these mysterious blasts on the ground. That's why these vaults were made. Time passes, and after 219 years, we are shown these vaults again, where people are living their normal lives. The ground is as if it is completely destroyed. It is not that no one lives on the ground. The people who live in their bodies are radiated due to the dangerous environment of the ground. Due to the drought, the people living on the ground don't have much to eat. In this way, they only harm themselves. It is complicated to trust the people there. All this was told by the chief of Vault-Tec, Hank, whose daughter Lucy was married today. A boy from Vault-Tec comes here to marry Lucy with his chief lead. The wedding takes place, and after the wedding, Hank gives everyone the good news that after a few years, America's environment will be much better, and the people living on the vault will finally be able to go safely on the ground. After knowing this, everyone becomes happy and go to their rooms. At night, when Lucy's brother was roaming in this vault sadly, he hears these screams of some people. He finds out that Vault-Tec's people have beaten Vault-Tec's people. They fight with them, and in the meantime, many people were killed. Here in her room, Lucy also checks that a lot of radiation was coming out of her husband's body. It means that he was a man living on the ground who had come to his vault. Knowing this, before Lucy could ask him anything, the boy attacks Lucy, and to save herself, Lucy kills him with a knife. When she came out of her room, she saw a war in the vault. Vault-Tec's people were mercilessly killing the people in their vault. Being panicked, Lucy goes to her dad Hank, whom Lee had now caught. Lee gives Hank two choices: either he saves himself or his people. Hank, who was a leader, decides to save his people, and so Lee's people catch him and take him away. Lucy was the most affected by all this. She was very sad and worried. They also find out that Lee's team did not belong to Vault-Tec, but they had come from above the ground. In a meeting in the vault, Lucy tells everyone that she will go above the ground to save her dad. No one wanted to support Lucy in this because everyone knew that the people living above the ground have become very dangerous. If these people go up, they will kill them. Lucy does not listen to anyone and finally comes out of this vault with the help of her brother. Because Lucy was illegally taken out of this vault, the people of the vault imprison Lucy's brother. Here with Lucy, we now witness the ruined scene of the outside world. There were dead bodies and skeletons everywhere. Broken buildings were filled with sand. Lucy is not afraid to see all this because she had already made up her mind. Cut to the scene, and we see the people living here who did not look like this at all. As Hank had told them, they were looking normal. This was an organization called Brotherhood, where there was also a boy named Maximus. He wanted to become a trained soldier here and take a robotic armor suit, with the help of which they used to be powerful and complete their missions. But because Maximus was the weakest, everyone used to bully him a lot. He did not even get his robotic armor suit because of his weakness. He kept training here, and his friend who came after him also got promoted. Knowing this, He was very sad, but he could not do anything. The next morning, he finds out that someone had put a very large blade in the shoe of his friend, due to which his entire foot is injured, and now someone else will be hired for his position. The general hires Maximus for his friend's position. Knowing this, his friend does not feel bad. Maximus was the assistant of a big soldier in an armor suit. His duty in the mission was to help the soldier in the robotic armor suit. He is given the first mission to catch a scientist who had made a very dangerous device, and they sit in the helicopter and leave for the mission. On the other side, we see some thieves who have opened a coffin. The person coming out of the coffin was Cooper, the Sam Hollywood actor who was shown at the start of the movie. Actually, he died in the old days, but now Cooper was revived with the help of a chemical. After being alive, he was no longer human, but turned into a creature called a ghoul. These thieves tell Cooper about the location of the Sam scientist, behind whom the Brotherhood organization was meant the scientist who was on Maximus' target. Knowing the location, Cooper kills these 3 thieves and leaves here to catch the scientist. Finally, now we meet the scientist who had made a chemical that could give the whole world infinite energy. While there were many benefits of this chemical, there were also disadvantages. The scientist had fixed the bottle of this chemical in his neck so that no one would misuse it. In the next scene, we see Maximus, who was with his senior soldier. This senior soldier was making Maximus do strange tasks to let him down. Maximus is also angry, but he can't do anything. They now reach their destination from where they had to move forward, but suddenly, a powerful bear, who was maddened by the radiation of the earth, attacks the senior soldier. It was about to kill the soldier. To save his life, Maximus attacks it from behind with his gun. Now the senior soldier, who should have thanked Maximus, was still bad-mouthing Maximus and telling him to take him out of the armor suit. Maximus does not take him out of the armor suit in anger, and because of the injury, this soldier dies inside the suit. Maximus takes him out of his robotic armor suit, buries him, and makes his suit his own. His dream of wearing this robotic armor suit was fulfilled today. Here Lucy, who has reached a village on the way, asks everyone about Lee, who had imprisoned his dad. But no one told her the whereabouts of Lee because everyone knew that Lucy came from the vaults, and they does not treat people from vaults well. Here Lucy meets a scientist who had reached this village to save his life. Talking to him, Lucy finds out that the scientist knew the people of Vault-Tec very well. That's why he respected Lucy too. During their conversation, Cooper comes here, who shoots the scientist and injures him because he wants the SAM chemical in the scientist's neck, behind which everyone is lying. Meanwhile, those people also arrive here, whose 3 companions had just been killed by Cooper. They were all attacking Cooper. To escape, Cooper starts firing at them, and this is how a war is created here. Seeing such a strange situation, Lucy thinks that Cooper is harming people here. That's why she shoots Cooper with her gun, but she sees that nothing happened to Cooper because he was a ghoul. Meanwhile, Maximus also comes here, and while attacking Cooper from behind, he picks him up and throws him away. In this chaos, a woman comes out of the back shop. She knew Lucy because a little while ago Lucy was asking her the whereabouts of Lee. She quickly tells her the whereabouts of Lee. Along with this, She has been looking for this scientist for a long time. If you take this scientist to Lee, she will leave your dad. Upon hearing this, she leaves everything and decides to run away from here while saving the scientist's life. While Cooper and Maximus had forgotten the scientist in the fight between them, Maximus was picking up and throwing Cooper everywhere, and when Cooper gets tired of all this, he comes and takes out a wire from Maximus' robotic armor suit. Like this, it got damaged and Maximus was now stuck in it. Here we see that despite being injured after Cooper's attack, the scientist was moving forward with Lucy, but there comes a point when he feels that he will not survive. Then he asks Lucy to cut his head and tells her that there is a chemical insert in his neck that Lee needs. After taking this, Lee will set your dad free and your work will be done. Lucy did not want to kill him, but looking at their persistence and their bad condition, she has to cut the scientist's head. These scenes now shift from here to the past. We are shown Cooper's story, who was a Hollywood actor. He had a happy family with a good career. His wife and daughter, about whom Hank knew at the time, means Lucy's father. Cooper also knew that Lee had kidnapped Hank. If he had fulfilled Lee's need, that is, if he had given Lee the chemical made by the scientist would have introduced him to Hank, and Hank could have taken him to his family. This was the reason for Cooper's pursuit of the scientist. While following the footprints of Cooper, he reaches the scientist, but he was disappointed to see that the scientist had not only been killed, but his head had also been taken by Lucy. That's why he starts following Lucy now. Here it is shown that Maximus has somehow pulled himself out of his robotic armor suit, and if he wants to stay alive now, he will have to fix this suit again. From this suit, the Brotherhood organization contacts him, who was asking him about the condition there. If Maximus had told him that his senior soldier was killed, he would have sent someone else here, and in this way, the suit would have come out of his hand in the robotic armor. That's why he lies here, that he himself is a senior soldier and his helper was killed. The organization decides to send a helper to him, but he also refuses to do that because he knew that every person there knows Maximus, and if someone sees Maximus in the suit, his story will be revealed. That's why he decides to fix his suit soon. He sees that a device in the suit was broken and he goes to the hardware shop nearby to fix it. When he came back, there were a lot of thieves standing here to take his robotic suit. To save his suit from them, he uses a remote to crush the head of a man with his Sam robotic armor suit, and everyone runs away from him in fear. During this whole fight, a helper also arrives here for Maximus, which was sent by his organization. Before the helper recognizes Maximus, Maximus hides himself in this robotic armor suit without wasting time. With the helper, Maximus starts his mission again. Here Lucy, who was walking with the head of a scientist, reached a river suddenly. A strange creature attacks her. In order to save herself, she does not care about the head of the scientist, and that creature eats the head of the scientist. She wanted to get his head back, and in the meantime, we see Cooper also arriving here, now standing while holding her at gunpoint. Lucy was worried and tells him that the monster has eaten the head of the scientist here. Hearing this, Cooper gets worried. After thinking for a while, he got an idea. He made Lucy a bait and hung her on the river so that the monster comes up to eat Lucy. According to the plan, the monster comes to them, but they are unfortunate that they cannot catch it. On the other side of the river was Maximus and his helper. This monster moves forward to attack them. In a snap, it grabs Maximus' helper in his mouth. Before it eats the man completely, Maximus, using all the strength of his armor suit, pulls his helper out of the monster's mouth. Doing this, the monster has a very strong vomiting, because of which the helper also comes out of his mouth, and also the scientist's head, and Maximus started moving forward while taking it. Here we see that Cooper and Lucy had come to another village while walking. Cooper sees an advertisement of a vault shelter here, which he had shot on behalf of his wife. This is the Sam Vault shelter in which everyone is staying safe today. Anyway, now he takes Lucy to a store where he demands a truck in return for Lucy. It was clear that he was selling Lucy. Lucy also had no option but to listen to Cooper. Listening to Cooper, she goes inside the store. She sells herself for Cooper. She finds a robot in the store who was talking to her nicely. Along with that, he also treats her. Knowing this, Lucy was a little reassured that the environment here is safe, but it wasn't. That robot, while treating, made Lucy unconscious by deception, and now when Lucy came to her senses, she was in the operation theater. This robot was going to remove a lot of organs from a blade. After that, Lucy will become a ghoul, means a creature like Cooper. Lucy sees that there are many more ghouls here, arriving to apply a strange chemical drip that keeps them alive and to sell their drugs. The people here would kill humans and make them ghouls. Lucy stops this robot to save her life and tries to run away from here. At this time, the man sitting in the store also attacks her, and to save her life from them, in her defense, Lucy also shoots them with her gun and comes out of the store. Coming out, Lucy also brought that chemical with her, because of which the ghouls were alive. Coming out, she sees that Cooper has become unconscious due to not getting that chemical, so she comes out and injects Cooper that chemical. The scene cuts, and we are shown the scene of Vault-Tec. Here, a woman had taken charge of Hank and had become the leader here, and this leader had made a mission to take over all the vaults along with Vault-Tec, which Lee and her people had destroyed. Everyone was happy with this. But Lucy's brother was not, but he couldn't do much. Listening to his leader, he goes to another vault, and first of all, he checks the security system there. Who opened the door of this vault? He finds out that the one who opened the door of the vault was not a person living inside the vault. In fact, someone had opened the door of this vault from outside. That was almost impossible. The door of the vault always opened from inside. When he checks the fingerprint of the person who opened the door, it was his mother's. Knowing this, he gets completely shocked, because he was told many years ago that his mother had been killed. On the other hand, we see Maximus, who was very happy to get the scientist's head because he had completed the mission himself. Along with that, his companion was also happy. The next day, they could go back to their base, but before that, Maximus' helper finds out the truth that in fact, he is not a senior soldier, but Maximus, who himself was a helper. Knowing this truth, he starts fighting Maximus, and because he knew that he can't fight this robot, then to defeat Maximus, he takes out the battery of his robot. In this way, Maximus is trapped in this robotic suit. This helper leaves him to die in this suit, takes the scientist's head, and runs away from here. Maximus stood here until the next day. Now very big cockroaches had also attacked him. Before it could kill Maximus, Lucy comes here at the right time and sees it and kills all the cockroaches with her gun. Lucy remembers seeing this robot, that this robot had saved her life from Cooper. That's why she opens the helmet of this robot, and she sees Maximus inside. She takes him out of the suit to help him. Here, these two tell each other their own story, that how Lucy wants the head of the scientist with the chemical inside it. She wants to give it to Lee and get her dad released, while Maximus wants to get that head for the Brotherhood organization. Both have the same purpose. Maximus also wanted the head, but the Brotherhood organization had not treated him so well. That's why he decides to find the head of the scientist and give it to Lucy, and they leave for their mission. On the mission to find Maximus' helper and take the scientist's head from him. While walking, some robbers attack them to escape them. Maximus shoots them with his good aim, but in all this, he gets injured. He was injured, and it is found that Lucy is also getting sick due to the radiation of the ground. That's why they both decide to go to a medical store. As they come to the medical store, they become unconscious. They didn't understand what happened to them. When they came to their senses, they were in the vault, and seeing this, Lucy is happy that at least now they will get good treatment. The scene cuts and goes to the past, where we see Cooper again. Cooper is acting for the vault shelters, that too at the behest of his wife, because his shares are in the company that makes the vault shelters, and he is serious about this project. His company wants all the people in the world to get more and more in these vault shelters. Anyway, Cooper was caught by the police in the present, who were also looking for the scientist. They were beating Cooper and asking him for the scientist's address, but Cooper didn't tell them anything, whether he was killed or where he is now. Here in the vault shelter, two doctors come to Lucy and Maximus. One tells them that to help Maximus, they had also ordered his robotic armor suit. The suit would have been repaired by the people of this vault shelter. They are told that they can go anywhere in the vault shelter, but it is forbidden to go to Sector 12. Lucy notices that all the people living in this vault shelter were almost mutated. That is, there were some changes in their body, like a doctor who had only one eye, someone had 3 eyes, and someone had no nose. Maximus finds out while visiting this vault that this vault and all the people living here run with the help of energy batteries, just like his robot. He gets the idea that to repair his robot, he will get a supply from them and will get a battery made. At the same time, Lucy, who was trying to get along with the people here, sees that all the people here worship Lee, and she gets angry because Lee had kidnapped her dad. In anger, she leaves here and goes to Sector 12, where she discovers the reality of this vault, that all the people who come into this vault, the vault's organization does experiments on them. Such experiments make them very powerful or monsters. Seeing this, she understood that this was going to happen to her, and Maximus. The news of her coming to Sector 12 also reaches the guards here, and the guards take her away from here. These scenes again shift to the past, where it is shown that Lee has called Cooper to meet him. She is telling Cooper that this project of her wife is a big threat to this world. Cooper did not believe Lee. That's why Lee gives Cooper a device that he could listen to all the things of his wife by attaching it to his wife. Cooper keeps this device with him, but he did not understand whether he should do this with his wife or not. The scenes shift again to the past, where the guards have caught Lucy. When they pass in front of Maximus, Maximus finds out about the threat on Lucy. He quickly goes to his robotic armor suit to save her, and to activate it, he steals the battery of their vault and puts it in his suit. After activating the suit, he quickly came to the people of this vault. Here he kills a lot of guards one by one, and as he was going to take Lucy out of here, Lucy tells him that the people of the vault were leaving them in the outside world as a punishment. Hearing this, he feels a little ashamed and apologizes to them. They were on the ground after a while. Coming out, Lucy finds out that Maximus has stolen their battery. The people of the vault would not have been alive for more than 3 days without the battery, and Lucy knows this. That's why Lucy tells Maximus to return their battery. Listening to her, Maximus throws that battery back in their vault. In this scene, we see Maximus' helper visiting a doctor because he is not feeling well. His doctor agrees to treat him and asks for Maximus' robotic suit's battery in return. He gives him the battery, but after it, the doctor escapes after giving him an injection. After it, we see Lucy's old vault means Vault-Tec. The new leader ordered all of them to live in separate vaults. The number present on their watch indicated who would stay in Vault-Tec and who would stay in Vault-Tec. Suddenly, the scenes shifts to the past toward Cooper's story. Cooper fixes the device given by Lee in his wife's advanced watch because he suspects his wife. Lucy and Maximus reach the helper while finding him to take the scientist's head from him. The helper shoots them for taking them far from himself, but he wasn't aiming right, and when Lucy attacks him to stop him, an arrow stabs him. He doesn't die and finds out that the doctor turned him into a ghoul by injecting him with a chemical while treating him. And if the Brotherhood organization will find it, they will end him, so it was better to give the scientist's head to Maximus and move far from their organization to remain alive. It finds out that Maximus' helper has already called his organization to take that head. Maximus and Lucy watch their helicopter in the sky. Maximus hands Lucy the scientist's head, abandoning all his progress and mission, so that she can release her dad through it, and he ruined a dead body's face while separating its head so that the organization will get distracted from his trick. The Brotherhood organization reach their base along with Maximus, and their general understands to see the head that it isn't that scientist's head. Here, we see Lucy has finally reached Lee to release her dad. Lee becomes happy to see the scientist's head in her hands and reveals a big truth here. Seeing Lee telling something, Lucy's dad says, "Lucy, don't listen to her," but Lucy wants to hear Lee. She also meets a ghoul here in bad condition. The scene now shifts to Vault-Tec, where Lucy's brother is fighting his own war. He was transferred to Vault-Tec, where he encountered numerous machines with human brains fitted into them. Seeing this, he understands that Vault isn't a place for them to live, but it is a huge experimental lab where experiments are being done on humans, and they are not safe here. The scene shifts to the past, where Cooper listens to his wife through the device he attached to her advanced watch. She was in a meeting attended by presidents and prime ministers from major countries. There were many wealthy individuals, all desiring to conduct secretive experiments on humans. Cooper gets shocked to know the true nature of his wife and what she has become. Cooper also discovers their intention to make humans not only immortal but also powerful, ensuring they never die. Cooper's wife was using his funds to construct massive vaults for this purpose. where scientists would have the freedom to conduct experiments as they wanted. As we have seen, experiments were conducted on human brains in Vault-Tec. The sad and shocking reality was that the world had been destroyed because of their plan. They decided to destroy not only large countries but also America with their atomic attack. They envisioned the Earth's environment becoming so perilous that people would be compelled to relocate elsewhere. People would seek refuge in the vaults for safety, ensuring a constant supply of subjects for their experiments. To demonstrate the safety of her plan, Cooper's wife informs everyone that the radiation emitted from their atomic attacks will dissipate within just 8 years, whereas our experiments will grant humans lifespans of thousands of years. Likewise, after 8 years, everyone will live their normal life again. Hearing this, all the presidents signed the contract of Cooper's wife. During this, Cooper's wife discovers about Cooper that he was listening to all her secret talks. Now she sends her assistant to Cooper, who was none other than Hank, Lucy's father. Lee continued the story. Recounting to Lucy the same tale in the present, they began diverting all the world's energy supply to their vaults, ultimately leading to the destruction of the world. She says this chemical of the scientist can give the world its energy back. After it, all the people can live on this earth safely. Here, Lucy asks Lee about her mom. Lee reveals, "Your mom and I were good friends, but when she discovered Hank's intentions, he killed her. We managed to bring her back as a ghoul." Lucy turned around to find that the ghoul standing before her was her mother. Tears welled up in Lucy's eyes as she began to weep. During this, they feel a movement, and they see the Brotherhood organization has reached here to attack Lee because they feel Lee is destroying this world. They move inside Lee's base while killing all the guards outside. Reaching here, Maximus releases Hank because he feels Lucy wants to release her dad. However, Lucy mustered the courage to reveal the truth, that her father was the cause of the world's dire situation. Hearing this, he also goes into flashbacks when his city was ruined in those atomic attacks, his parents were killed, and he didn't forget this pain till today. He was lost in all this. Meanwhile, Hank gets his robotic suit, and he attacks Maximus while wearing it, and Maximus gets faint. Here comes Cooper, because he knew all the truth about Lee and her organization. So he fights on Lee's behalf and points a gun at Hank. He asks Hank about his wife, but he doesn't tell him anything. Meanwhile, Lee puts the chemical out of the scientist's neck and places it in her machine. As a consequence, the earth reclaimed its energy. But Hank, enraged by this turn of events, escaped, injuring Lee in the process. Hank escaped, but Cooper wants to find him because only he knows about his wife and son. Cooper implores Lucy for assistance in locating her father, and Lucy agrees, recognizing that her father is not a good person. Along with this, Lucy wants to destroy all the vaults because she knows the reality of vaults. After it, she also ends her ghoul mom because she doesn't want her mom to stay alive as a strange creature. Maximus comes to his senses in Lee's base, and he sees that Lucy and Cooper left. He discovers Lee's lifeless body and is saddened by the sight, while the organization mistakenly believes that Maximus restored the energy to the world by killing Lee. Hence, they elevate Maximus and make him their leader. But only Maximus is aware of the truth behind Lee's death. Hank is depicted having reached his boss, Cooper's wife, at a particular location. Thus, the season concludes with a lingering mystery, leaving viewers eager to discover what will unfold next.